4 decisions that can set you up for the winning mindset. That's what we're going to talk about right now. Thank you for watching CTM TV. Thank you for watching Mike Motivation. Thank you for watching Thinking Game Podcast. Thank you for watching CTM Sports. Please like, share, and subscribe. Help us grow. Help us reach 1K so we can reinvest back into the podcast and make more content that gives back insight based on the things that we've experienced on a regular people scale. We're not celebrities. We work every day, and we try to give back insight to the youth, people that's middle-aged, anybody who wants to hear it. Sometimes you have to start over in life. Sometimes you have to pivot to make better decisions, and that's what we talk about. I've made many bad decisions. I had to make many pivots. So that's the kind of content that I try to build around. How do I change? How do I make that pivot? So 4 decisions that set you up for the winning mindset. Because as you know, we are in a season now. The season's starting to change. Weather-wise and from a spiritual reality-wise, the season's starting to change. We're in a time now where you have to make solid decisions. Life will punish you, not from a judgmental standpoint, but just from a lifestyle living standpoint. You make bad decisions, it could cost you greatly. And we're going to talk about 4 points that I think are some of the major decisions you have to think about while you're an adult. The first one, spiritual decisions. Do you know about God? And if you know about God, who are you following that is teaching you the principles of God, teaching you the Bible? Why are spiritual decisions so important? It's the foundation that you work off of when you go into these other decisions. You got to have the foundation to kind of be on, to stand on. If you don't know, I can tell you from experience, a person that didn't start off this way, that's why I had to go back and rebuild. Having that spiritual foundation to make decisions, help you make solid decisions in these next 3 areas I'm about to talk about. Why do you need leadership? You can read the Bible yourself, but if you read the Bible yourself, there are verses in there that says, how can you hear without a preacher? There are certain things that when a person dedicates themselves to God, because we only reading it, but we're not dedicating ourselves to leadership in Christ, that you abstain from things that you may think is okay, but in a spiritual sense, leading people, they may not be beneficial in order to help you lead. So that's why it's important to follow solid leadership, not just any leadership, solid leadership, to teach you things that you may not have come up on because they get a different insight and wisdom from God because they pay the price and dedicate themselves to a lifestyle that is catered to the Bible, and with that, they get a different insight and wisdom to give to the sheep that save souls. Church is, in my opinion, is not for entertainment. It's for saving souls. And there are some things that's entertaining, but the number one goal is saving souls, to me. Excuse the wind. It may be shaking the camera, the tripod a little bit. And if it's in the sound, I'm sorry about that, but it's kind of windy and brisk because it's hurricane weather. So the next one is development decisions. Good development decisions set up the next few decisions. What do you develop in? Education is one, right? What are you educating yourself in? And if you say you don't want to do academic, you don't want to do trade, you're learning something. And the question is it beneficial to you what you're learning? Is it going to help you progress in these next few decisions and steps as you what you're learning now? A lot of times people learn or gravitate to social media. Guess what? If you're good at social media, you should be educating yourself around marketing. You could be a social media manager and make like 45. 50 for some companies that values that. But if you don't do the research, you don't develop, you won't even know that stuff exists. A lot of times, I'm guilty of this. Lack of knowledge, lack of know will cause you to kind of be in a state that you feel like there's nothing out there. But I'm telling you, if you take that first step in doing the research and seeing what your options are, you'll be surprised that there are a lot of options out there to develop in. Career development. What career do you want to go into? Science, technology, engineering, math, medical, marketing, sales. There are many career fields to go into. You just have to look up and see where your personality fits. The next one is financial decisions. Whatever you develop yourself in, you have to look at the financial impact that it will have in your life. Like, is it going to set you up to have a better financial impact? Or is it going to put you in a place to where it's only enough to sustain because of the market and where you live? That's why development is important. That's why spiritual kind of builds on all of those, because when you have the insight from God, he can guide you in what he gifted you in and educate around that and put you in a place where you can have a financial impact. You can be a provider as a man, be a better provider for your family because you developed in something that gave you a great financial opportunity to provide for your family. I know you hear people say it's not all about money. I beg to differ, because without resources, there are a lot of things you just cannot do, period. You can't even think about it because you don't have the resources to afford to even go down that path, because it's going to cost you every step. And if you don't have the resources, you can't do it. That's life. That's reality. Financial decisions. Do you need certain things, or is it just impulse? Do you need a new car, or can you hold off with the car that you got until things start to get better as an economy? Right now, the average car note, have you looked that up? What is the average car note? What's the average mortgage? What's the average rent? How does that affect your development decision? How much does it cost to live totally on your own without depending on or borrowing from another person? You should think about that. As a leader, as a husband, I got to thank my wife for following the plan that we're doing by living below our means, not wanting to keep up with the Joneses. That don't even make sense. When you look at it, it don't make sense, because you will always find yourself going in circles. But when you slow down and think about what you're doing, make financial projections, look at your budget in a spreadsheet. Let me know in the comments if you would like to show you an example on how to look at your budget, like a mock example, how to look at your budget in a spreadsheet. If you got a phone, you got a Google account, you can do this on Google Sheets on your phone or on a computer. You can do it on a computer, save it, and look at it on your phone. Living below your means. Looking at, do I need this or do I don't? I don't need that. Financial decisions, right? Is this going to impact us in the future if we do get this now? Is it affordable? One thing as an adult, I would tell you to strive for before you start getting into the keeping up with the Joneses and luxury is think about how much do you have after you pay your bills every pay period. How much do you have? If you can get to a point where you can have $800 free and clear after you pay your bills, that's something to build off of. Think about that. After you pay your bills, how much do you have left until the next time you get paid? Or If you make good spiritual decisions, make good development decisions, and get into the right career field, you can make money that all of your bills probably can be paid out of one check, and the rest you can invest or save or put up and figure out how to use it to make more money for you. It's out there, but you have to put in the work. You have to make development decisions, spiritual decisions, financial decisions. It's out there. Learning how to live below your means. Learning how to not overextend what you have. Be a good steward. That's spiritual. Being a good steward over what you have. That's why you have to learn those things. And it's better to learn it when you're younger. So when you get older, you already have those things in your mind and your decision making. It's built into it. So you want to be a good steward over what you have. The last one is, and this is not the least, this is just the last one when I was thinking about this, is dietary decisions. Can you create a diet plan that is affordable and makes a healthy lifestyle that helps you sustain throughout the day? What is something that you can afford that's within your means that you can do? How to grocery shop properly? What are things that you can eat? Cook at home. A lot of times it seems like it's so cheaper to go out to eat, but in all actuality, it actually is cheaper to grocery shop and eat at home. You may have to buy certain things like a grill. You may have to buy griddles, cook outside so you don't smoke out the house. Finding ways to make a dietary lifestyle that keeps you sustained. So you don't have to deal with taking medicine, a lot of medicine, health issues that messes with your energy levels, health issues that messes with your mental health, body issues, aches and pains. When you start narrowing in on that dietary component and keeping that weight under control so you can remain healthy, your frame, it's not about shaming, it's about keeping your health within a range that's controllable without taking medication as much as you can. Proportion size. How much do you eat in a day? You got to be honest with yourself about that. So, let me know in the comments, what do you think about these 4 decisions? Spiritual, development, financial, and dietary. To me, those could be in the top 4, top 5. Easy. But let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching CTM TV, Mike Motivation. Like, share, and subscribe. Help us grow and reach 1K so we can reinvest back into the channel. And if you subscribe and help us grow, we can get a studio in Little Rock, downtown somewhere, and we can really create this content of positivity and give insight back to the community. So with that being said, I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. Bingo.